Good morning, everyone. Good to have you here. Paul Tranny back with the one and only Marvin Schwaibold in the house. Day 2.
What's up?
And you'll be back tomorrow. But today's the day that matters, because today's the day I'm excited about the project that you're working on. We want to welcome everyone, Chris and Fasil and Eric and all our friends in chat. Just say hello. We'd love to hear from you. We're going to be hanging out all day long. Fantastic schedule with awesome designers all day long. So we'll review that right now. This is UX and UI week, essentially. So we have Marvin for 2 hours till 11. As you can see, as he wraps up his project, Olga's going to come in from 11 to 1 with Gus. And then 1 to 3, I'll be back with Melody as she works on her fitness app. So we're all building apps and designing things and solving problems best we can, also with your help. So might be reaching out to you to see what you like, you know. And
yeah.
But your project has been fantastic, by the way.
Thank you so much.
Really into it. Two more quick housekeeping things. We're going to have a random chat and win in about 30 minutes, just because we can. We're just going to give away something just for fun. And then we are actually reviewing portfolios today. So right on the site, you will see a tab next to chat. And it says Portfolio Reviews, and that's where you will submit it. Right over here, Portfolio Review, down here, submit through this form. Basically, it should be Behance page. That's your portfolio. Clean it up. Maybe you've participated in some challenges. Put those in there, and it's cool. We have someone like yourself to review them.
Sure, so, yeah, let's do it. I'm looking forward to it.
Just be gentle.
I will.
Be kind.
I'll be kind.
Be nice. You actually do reviews as well through FWA, we mentioned yesterday, which is cool. So welcome, tuning in from Canada, Cape Town as well. Subhash, let us know where you're from. Always curious. And we'll dive into this.
Perfect.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. Yeah, of course.
Let's check it out.
Should we do a small recap for anybody new watching? Right. So what have we got here? This is our style guide. I kind of started working on before I even, jumped into the design or anything. It's just kind of like guidelines that help me when I'm designing a project. Keeping type, spacing, size, all of this kind of stuff in mind, and it goes through all the important aspects of what we're going to do. The colors. Mouse over stages, how a menu will look when it drops down. All of this kind of stuff I think is really important. I did the same for the whole footer elements here. Some larger headlines here. Yeah, and then basically once we set this kind of style guide up, we just jumped into, an intro landing kind of page here that has like a very long but I think very nice one-pager where we kind of go through the product, look at some of the, like an image carousel, easy steps of how to apply for this subscription. Nice call to action here. A glance at the product, which in theory will be completely animated and have this drag and drop interaction.
Yeah, nice.
Some more images, quotes, and theoretically another carousel here, which I can see is actually missing. It's missing the arrows. We can add these in. Click through here. Then we also worked on and
you can actually, if you hit preview, hit the little play button in the upper right corner, and we can kind of see and kind of scroll through.
Oh yeah, sure.
Kind of how it's gonna
look, Yeah.
Yeah. And the thing is you don't even have to wire it up. You can literally just use your arrow keys and go through different screens or whatever. So. Welcome, Michael from Joburg. Good to have you here. Beirut. I want to go to Beirut. Fasil, welcome. Good to have you here. This is looking really good. Definitely really strong.
Yeah, this was our subscription page where we chose what to subscribe for, basically. And definitely this, we're going to jump into some auto animation as well and look at how this will look.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, custom information.
Looking really good.
Yeah, this was you.
Yeah, I contributed. Yay, I helped.
Yeah, this is the payment information section.
I like how you're saying how that would work too. Sort of like as you select a field, it goes from this gray to white.
Exactly.
Border,
yeah.
like, then text kind of comes to life as you work on each field.
Kind of
Jasmine, welcome Jasmine from Germany as well. Do you know a Jasmine Fletcher?
Jasmine Fletcher, no, but hello.
I just, since they're from the same country you're from, I'm like, you know them, right?
I know, yeah. That's always like funny. I saw a Till Holder earlier. I know that guy though, but he was away at the top.
Okay.
Cheers to him.
Yeah.
But this theoretically is nice when you click on it and it starts. The opacity is 100%. The user kind of gets like feedback on what he's doing and that he's interacting with the payment area there. Yeah, sign up and login screens here. Just kind of, you can choose whether you're going to sign up or you're actually going to log into it. This is another view of the style guide.
Yeah, it's looking really good.
Yeah.
Everybody really thinks the design is sexy.
Yeah, that's what we're going for, right?
Yeah, I mean, strong font, great design. This black and white, just really like crisp and elegant, and not over designing at all. I feel.
Yeah, definitely. Trying to just keep it simple and also just work with a lot of negative space, to really let it breathe, let all the elements breathe and not. You don't want the user to have to look at too many things at the same time. It can just be overwhelming and, frankly, too disorientating, and it's something we want to try to avoid, obviously. I definitely want to design a blog page because that's something really cool with some editorial like elements. And I'm basically just gonna copy paste this right here and start working on it. And then I want to animate this area right here in a bit.
Okay.
And I want to look at the loading animation we did.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So it seems like you do have like the majority of your screens kind of squared away. Are you gonna work on a screen for a little bit and then do some auto animate?
Exactly.
Sort of like how is it gonna transition from one to the next?
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I was going for.
So
choose some images here, some new ones. Just drag and drop them in.
Those are nice images. So that's a good way to do it too. Is you could create a shape and mask what's below it. For images, it's easier just to create a box, a container, and drop an image onto it.
Yeah.
And then you have it always sets it to proportionately fill whatever shape it is.
Yeah, it's really
and
helpful.
you can double click and adjust that all you want. So Andreas, welcome. Good to have you here. Yes, Michael Marias is entering the world of design full time. I don't know if you just got a full-time job doing design. Congratulations if that's the case. Good to see. Yeah, so this is interesting. Did you do some research in terms of like sort of the competition for this, or what perfume websites look like, or anything like that?
Yes. You have to kind of, right? I always kind of like look at what the competition's up to, what other people are doing in this area, but also in keeping the aspect in mind to try to build something unique or different. It's kind of nice to just build a mood board based on, not looking at exactly the competition, but just looking at maybe what kind of fonts are perfume bottles using, or what kind of campaigns is Chanel shooting right now, and then trying to kind of balance it off of this, then actually looking at maybe a screen design of already a perfume subscription company. I think that way you have the opportunity to just be more unique, and that's kind of what I'm trying to go for.
No, it's good, and I think you could take away take away all the English. That could be gibberish, but I still get that it's a high-end potential perfume product, which is really cool. That just attests to your design skill. Welcome, Brianna Gable. Good to see you. She hosts a design podcast. I was on her podcast last week. So it's good to see you. Thanks for hanging out and joining us. She's She's a force. Watch out for Brianna. I always admire people that, like, you know, they go to work during the day and then go home and have like a whole side hustle thing that they do.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just impressed.
You don't want to do that?
I'm too tired. Just kidding. I've done that plenty.
Yeah?
Yeah. Oh, yes. So good to have you here. If it is your first time here, just say hello. We'd love to say hello back. Thanks for hanging out with us. So, yes. Brianna, just so you know, since I think this is your first day joining us, I'm here with Marvin Schwaibold. You can check out under the info tab, you can kind of follow him, stalk him through Behance, but check out his work. Your work's really strong and amazing.
Thank you.
You know, and somebody did ask, like, how long did it take you to like reach this point? How long did it take you to do this design? Which is kind of a tough question.
In general, or just this one here?
No, for this design, like how long? Because you actually did some work beforehand, right?
Yeah.
We get it. Like you're trying to optimize your time on screen, so
Sure.
you kind of work out a lot of this. But typically, looking at this design, how many hours do you think typically it'd take to create, you know, these pages in this design?
I mean, so first of all, I say it definitely takes longer to do this in Photoshop than it does in XD. Since it's so lightweight, just the iteration process is a lot easier, you know.
Yeah.
But in general, I'd say to finish it from start to finish, probably like 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay.
When you're thinking about all of the elements, and once you have all, you know, your font size is correct.
Because everything isn't as seamless as we like to let it appear to be. You know, like,
and there's
like
also
information rolls in, things are changing.
Exactly, you know,
like
there's
collecting
client feedback all the time.
Yeah.
You know, people want to change something. While you're designing, you realize, oh, actually, this doesn't make sense to put it here. We could actually merge the contact and about page. Do we even need a contact page? The blog page could look way simpler. You know, maybe this could be different. And it's just a lot of going back and forth until you really kind of have it all figured out, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
But a way to really speed up the process is to kind of get your style guide approved by the client first, you know, before you actually start designing anything.
Hello, Alyssa. Good to have you. She's been a guest of ours as well. Thanks for hanging out. Alyssa would probably approve of this font as well because it's such a nice font.
Yeah.
Right? Alyssa, do you approve? The font is called, I can't remember, what's the name of
Chap.
this font? Chap?
Chap, yeah.
It's not a Typekit or Adobe font.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, but it's super cool.
Which isn't always good. I mean, it really depends on the project you're working on. You know, if this would be, if this would be an app I'm doing, that's in the financial sector or anything, you'd have to work with something very sans serif, very easy to read. I think just this kind of project in general here gives me the freedom to just like try out some new wacky fonts and something a little bit more unconventional, probably, I guess.
Yeah. But you do some nice tricks that people kind of need to know about. You know, the thickness of the header fonts. You know, it's not too bold and in your face, right? That's perfect. The weight of that.
Yeah.
Even on that welcome screen.
Yeah.
You outlined the font, like these little tricks, because like the larger it gets, you don't want it to slap you in the face.
Definitely, yeah.
So how can you lighten it up? By just making it an outline, thinning the font. In other cases, you would make it gray. It's just a gray on black.
Exactly,
so you do that. This is like good little...
Yeah, we're going to go into that definitely a little bit more in a few minutes when we look at like what a blog article could actually look like. And I guess one important thing though is just to make sure that when you're looking at how many font sizes you want, you kind of like you go down and say, okay, we're not gonna do more than 3 or 4, you know, and then you think about how to present them on the page, because I see too many times where you know you'll use this kind of font here, it's nice and big, then you'll randomly make up this size of this font, and then it'll be completely different than this one, or 10 pixels larger than this one, and it's just too inconsistent. That's why I really like this feature here with Adobe, you know, XD, this asset folder here. It's my guideline.
Yeah,
it's my rule book kind of.
Yeah,
like you can't go wrong.
I really like what you did with your, you know, you have the style guide page.
Yeah.
Because I get it. It does say, if I look at it, 26, 160. I'm not sure what those sizes actually look like.
Yeah.
And you do a great job of visualizing it. So.
Yeah, it's. I just do it for myself, you know, to kind of like see, to see how it would actually look like, you know, in comparison to each other, how the fonts work when I place them next to each other. If I actually want it to look like that. And yeah, like you said, it's something you don't really see here. You have to kind of build it, and then you kind of have the.
And the nice thing is if you didn't do this, you could at least right-click on these items, and you could highlight on canvas.
Yeah.
And see where it's being used.
Exactly.
If you didn't do and that will kind of tell you, like, am I using it everywhere I'm supposed to?
Exactly, for sure. So. Yeah. And how many times am I using it, and all that kind of stuff, right?
Nisha. Oh, Alyssa, by the way, welcome. Again, I mentioned she's presented with us before, so check out her work on Behance. And also, how do you export these auto-animate features to CSS? I saw somebody mention that. Let's make sure that gets answered. Yeah, so in general, you're not writing any code or anything. You're going to be exporting out images and style guides and stuff from XD, but it's allowing you to prototype and solve all those problems, and then give all the assets to the developer. They know exactly what is what.
Exactly, yeah.
But it's not going to generate CSS right now. Yeah, auto-animate has been really fun to work with lately. We've been playing with it. It's been awesome.
It really gets you thinking in terms of motion, you know, and how to actually... it's a lot of math as well, right? It's a lot of like thinking outside the box and how to kind of connect object A and object B and what the transition will look like. And there's really a lot of cool stuff you can do with it for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really fun, but it's also really easy. So you build the start and then the end point for, you know, your graphics, and then it will move them into place. And just so you know what this brand is, it's all about, it's basically perfume, cologne subscription service. You get perfume or cologne sent to you every month. And yes, to answer your earlier question, Marvin does smell fantastic today as well. Smells like $1 million. At least you used to, because that was the brand you used to wear. And when we were talking about this, like 1 million, that was like high school. Times, yeah. What was it? What, millionaire?
No, what was it? 1 million, I think it was called.
1 million was the cologne that you wore that everybody wore in high school.
At my school, everybody was hooked on it. It was
1 million.
It was horrible. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
But yeah, mine wasn't required no more back in the day. Yes, Marcel says auto-animate feels like the beginning of Flash. Yeah.
Didn't you just say that earlier?
I totally did. Yeah. I just feel like totally at home. I'm like, yeah, I know how to do this. This is not that hard. Yeah. I'm like, it's just like very intuitive, you know. So it makes it very comfortable to work in. When it comes to XD, do you always have to do your graphics within Illustrator or Photoshop and then import them?
It really depends, right? No.
Oh, sorry about that. Oh, yeah, let's do that. No, yeah, you can draw right away, and don't underestimate the toolbar. Looks pretty light, but it can do everything you need it to. right, cool. I actually need to show yesterday's winner, so that is downloaded. Basically, we've had challenges the past 2 days, and all based on a certain theme for the day. And yesterday's was all about creating an airline website using Auto Animate. And I want to reveal the winner to you right now. So this is yesterday's winner.
Yeah, very good.
Here we are. So shout out to Rick. Rick Bosenbrook is our winner for the challenge yesterday, creating a basically a website using Auto Animate. So I'll just play through this. Goes through. This is a video that he recorded. Click. You can see that slide up. And as you kind of go through this page and scroll down, and then they have this.
Yeah,
Right? That's really cool, huh?
I heard something similar earlier, yeah.
And I can't, now that I think about this, I can't quite wrap my head around this.
Because they merged it with that drag, the drag animation. It's
Yeah, and it's just amazing because I think he actually, even though he's recording this video, he's just putting his mouse over it like he's dragging it. But it's really just an animation that's playing.
Yeah, it could be.
Right. But congratulations to Rick. I'll play this again. Nice layout. Scroll down. Nice sky. Easy to book. Little drag element. Really simple. So congratulations, Rick. You win 1 year of Creative Cloud. Congratulations. I don't know if he's with us, but we will reach out to him. And thank you everybody who entered yesterday, because we were probably showing them off. We were easily showing them off pretty much all day long yesterday. And we got some cool entries. Plus it's just fun to do. So Faisal, what's the equivalent to Flash? What's the equivalent of Flash nowadays? Flash, because it's called Adobe Animate, right? So Flash we basically renamed to Animate because it no longer is just about the Flash platform, because you can output HTML animation, like SVG animation, like a number of different WebGL animation, all from what was once called Flash. So we just got to change the name to just Animate.
Yeah.
So Adobe Animate is Flash, and you can download it right now, especially if you're a Creative Cloud member, like Rick, who won 1 year Creative Cloud. He can download it and try it out, because you have access to everything as a full Creative Cloud member.
Nice, yeah. That was really cool. I like the animation on that.
Yeah, it was nice, huh? Right?
Fonts
but
look cool
we
too,
got lots of cool ones in. But I think it was kind of a fun project, airline animation.
Yeah.
We saw lots of clouds and planes and
bouncing in and stuff, right?
Yeah. This is like really fun. But our goal with that is to really like give you some exposure, show off your work. Maybe you want some feedback. Maybe you win Creative Cloud. Maybe it ends up in your portfolio, and then maybe leads to a job. But if it ends up in your portfolio, there's a chance we could be reviewing yours today. So don't forget to submit yours. I love these images, by the way.
Thanks, yeah.
Yeah. Even the tone, just the colors, everything.
That's what we were talking about yesterday as well, right? When you're kind of like building the style guide, looking at the colors you want to use for this project in general, making sure that all the photography you're using is kind of like in the same temperature family, in the same style, kind of. It all needs to feel like it's part of something like bigger, or just part of the same kind of family. And you can, I think, you can even just see it here when you're looking at these colors, and then this one here, it kind of feels like that's where it's from. And here, even like these yellows and this light green, it's kind of like I looked at this image, for instance, when I chose, a green tone here, or maybe a light yellow, yellowish kind of color here. Yeah. Yeah,
and what's cool is like you didn't necessarily, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's not like you picked those colors like in a vacuum. Like you had these photos, you knew what the products looked like.
Yeah.
Like those kind of set the tone. So picking the colors was probably pretty easy.
Exactly. Yeah. You can theoretically you can take 2 or 3 pictures here. Oops. What was I doing here? You you take 2 pictures, and if you're trying to figure out what kind of colors you want to use here, I just always like create little boxes. And then before I fill, I use this little icon here, and then I go, okay, maybe this, maybe something like this green could be interesting. What else is cool here? Maybe this, is that really a white? No, it's kind of like a grayish color, yeah? Or maybe something more beige like this. Could be interesting as well. And you kind of like keep going like that, and then you just go back, iterate, and you can tweak them, but in general, these are colors that kind of, here, this color, kind of, it comes from your images,
Yeah.
Kind of, it's a good way of choosing what colors you want to use.
Yeah, it looks good.
The hex codes are literally part of the photography. Then it's also a good way to sell it to your client if they ask why you're using why are you using green, why are you using this color here, and then you can explain to them.
It sort of enhances the brand. Like these are
Definitely,
the brand colors.
Exactly. Yeah. So here we kind of have this blog I wanted to build, and it has like 2 larger articles right beneath each other, and then a nice call to action where you can subscribe for like the newsletter, which I thought was really important. Working on more articles right now, and then I want to dive into how you click here, and then it actually leads you to a whole editorial like blog.
Nice.
That can look really cool.
On that note of, sort of the tone of photos, just a little FYI. That's how we have what are called lookup tables. LUTs kind of come from the video world. Might be new to people, say, using Photoshop, because you can actually load in LUTs, which is just like, basically what that allows you to do from a videographer's perspective is you can have even different agencies work on a film, and they're all using the same color profile is what it is. A lookup table, and it's just a bunch of brightness, contrast, colors, all this, and it gives you this one file. So it doesn't matter if you're working in After Effects, Premiere Pro, or whatever. It gives it all the same look, and that's kind of what LUTs do. And actually, those are available in Photoshop now as well.
Yeah, that's really good. Really helps, right?
Yeah, I encourage people to check it out because it's just really kind of fun to work with. And maybe while you do that, I'll just kind of switch over to my screen and show, just so people know about this.
Yeah, go for it.
Just taking any photo, whatever. This is one. This is just the original. Actually, it already has kind of a tone, but that's, take any photo right down here. You can go to color lookup right here, right behind my head. But right there, you're used to picking all of these, and this is like everything in one. This is like almost like an Instagram filter of sorts. So color lookup, that gives you right here in this properties panel, I can select these different LUTs lookup tables. So here's, I can see what 2-strip looks like, bleach bypass, but you'll start to see this obviously change a lot. And all it is adding this layer. But this is an easy way to make sure all of them have, again, making sure they all look like they're coming from a Fuji, they're taken with the same camera, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Click and adjust. And you can make these yourself as well. So you can add brightness, contrast, all that stuff that you want, and then you can export out the lookup table and make your own. Just a little FYI for that beautiful, consistent look like that you have. So.
No, definitely, that's a good trick. That's a cool feature you guys are adding. There we go. Basically, just trying to show what a mouse over here would look like,
That looks really.
It's kind of,
That looks really good. I think sometimes semi-transparency just doesn't look good. I'm usually like, oh, do background blur, but that actually does look really, really good.
Yeah,
just the semi-transparent black.
It depends. Yeah, exactly. It depends. I think there's 2 elements here. It's the black stroke on the box, and then it's the opacity. And since it's only a mouse over, it's something it'll just see for a second when you kind of hover over the image, just to kind of trigger the user to actually click on it and get, look at it.
Yeah, man, I'm into it. But also, I'm into all these fireworks going off behind our heads.
Nice.
What that means is it's time for Chat and Win. Let's dive into that right now. Welcome back, everyone. And just like that animation showed, it's time for Chat and Win. All you need to do is say something in chat. Be like, hey, what's up? Love the animation. Marvin's the man. Anything you want, just so we know somebody's there, because we're going to give one lucky winner a Moo notebook, a sketchbook. So, special Moo notebook just for you, hanging out with us and saying something hopefully intelligible in chat. The more you enter doesn't increase your odds, especially when it's just a letter, okay? Nice hair is always a good, strong...
Yeah, very nice.
We always appreciate that.
I got up early to make this look good.
This 3 to 4 hours.
Yeah, every morning, yeah.
Yeah. A little less time today because him and Paco were out all night clubbing.
Yeah, that's true.
They really, I think your hair needed extra care this morning.
Exactly.
After all that. All right, and we want to congratulate Devin Weiss. Congratulations, Devin, the proud winner of a Moo notebook, sketchbook. It's going to be sent directly to you. Really, it's going to be super easy. We're going to contact you through Behance, and it's all yours, filled with all of the answers to all life's questions. It's just that you have to write them in. So, but don't worry, we're going to do these random giveaways for each segment, and really just a time check. You have about an hour, so this is good.
Yeah. I like nice. How somebody was asking in the chat earlier, hey, do you have to import icons and stuff, do I have to make them in Illustrator or Photoshop and then import them into XD? And I think it depends on what you do, but what I really like about XD right now is these features here, you can just merge you can just make two shapes here. I want to do a plus, and you just merge them together into one. That's kind of like taking a feature from Illustrator straight into this software, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, and I think one reason to actually do it in XD is when it comes to something like auto animate.
Yeah.
I think weren't we working on this where you want to have the plus, or you wanted to have a hamburger turn into an X.
Yeah.
But if there's two separate lines, animate them. But by all means, I did this yesterday, I think too, or the day before, pasted in a vector shape from Illustrator.
Definitely.
And morphed it into something else. It was so easy.
Yeah.
Just if the layer names are the same, it's gonna animate. So.
I think this will look good now.
Oh, great Wakabi, thanks. Says he's new to UI and UX and really likes these live videos.
Yeah.
Learning from professionals.
Yeah,
well, so that's a stretch. Professionals, really, that's a stretch, at least for me.
No,
You're the professional. Making it happen.
It's a collaborative
this is
process
so
here,
good.
Right? Yeah, basically it's our blog page I was working on right now. Yeah, you can load more here. You have a call to action for a newsletter subscription. You have more articles. This is like a mouse over. This is something I always like to do when I'm creating
and you have the little...
Yeah, I have a little mouse right there.
That.
Yeah, when you're showing this to a client or something, it's just nice for them to see, okay, this is how and it's important for the developers as well, they need to know what's going to happen. And exactly. And now I'm going to jump into one of these article pages, and then we're going to auto-animate some stuff as well.
See, that's good. So we haven't talked about animated SVG import. That is definitely something people are asking for, is being able to import video, for instance.
Yeah.
or animated GIF into XD. So that's definitely a feature request. So
this down here. Get it out of the way.
You Jawal, are you new in chat? Let us know. I just see an I there. Oh, Famous Studio, which allows you to import your XD file and push. Maybe I missed that. Never mind. I won't read that one. But what I just started to read there is we do have plugins available now for XD. You can write a plugin to do, whatever you want, whatever your needs are. There might be a plugin out there for it. And yeah, I think that's a big game changer for XD.
Definitely, yeah. People start being able to tweak kind of like their own little, making shortcuts that help them in their creative process. That's pretty cool.
One of them I want to try is Google Sheets. There's a Google Sheets plugin that, and this is awesome. Like, I'll just switch over real fast.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm not going to go through the whole process. I'm just going to keep this brief, but here's some plugins I've actually installed. You can bring in a public link, and I love this. Check this out. Have that sort of live connection to that data.
Yeah.
So you have a Google Sheet. Maybe it's filled with different languages. Maybe there's nothing in there just yet.
Yeah.
But you hit refresh content, and then
yeah.
Isn't that nice?
Especially talking about languages, right? If the website has different languages that it needs to be used, and this is a really nice feature, definitely.
Yeah, it's so cool. So yeah.
Yeah.
Into it.
Really sizing up the font here now. Does XD have a feature where I can just add like lorem ipsum randomly to a text box?
Yeah, an extension.
Yeah?
Yep. It's right here actually. Boop. Fill with placeholder text. But this is an extension, so you have to.
I have to download it.
Yeah. It is there though, just like. Actually, let me see. It's literally called lorem ipsum. Go to, as you do that, file new, basically from this splash screen, select add-ons. And this is, of course, where you'll find everything. And it's interesting looking at these. Let's go to actually just plugins. Seeing like these two were just added today. Like this one was added yesterday. These were added 3 days ago. But just to show you the fast development that's happening is kind of Yotako. Oh, somebody mentioned this yesterday. I kind of want to check it out. I'll have to check out some of these. So yeah. Yeah, Michael, you're doing, yeah, if you're using Photoshop and Illustrator, that's great. Like use the tool that you know best, but also know that you can actually open up an Illustrator file directly into XD. So you don't even have to do a copy and paste. You open up that PSD in XD and you'll get all those layers. Now, if you have like blend modes and stuff, some of those things that XD doesn't support, it will render it. So, but some things might come through, some might not. Just kind of depends. But if you had blurs on things, then that'll come through. What are you trying to decide here? Are you struggling with something?
I'm trying to I think I got it now. I was just trying to make sure that these two fonts are in perfect relationship to each other. But I think it's gonna work now. I'm gonna add some social media icons here. It's always nice to be able to share an article really quickly once you've read it or you look at it.
Mm-hmm.
I use kind of icon jar for this all the time. I don't know if you've heard of that.
No. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. These are icon jar. Facebook gives you, okay. Is it like free? Is it?
I think it's like $15. $15. I think it's also it's a one-time payment.
Nice.
Yeah. And you can just literally like copy paste or just drag them into your files. So that's kind of like really good.
Are they all like, they're all black and white basically? SVG files. Oh, some are color.
Yeah, I'll show you. Wait. So you have different like icon sets you can import. So you pay for the software, and then for instance, Bud icon. These are kind of cool, and they come in like shadows, solid or outlines.
Beautiful.
And it's also kind of nice if you're thinking about a mouse over or a different hover state, or once you've clicked on something, it could look like this, but on the outline it just, looks like this. That's kind of, yeah. These sets are pretty cool to work with.
Yeah.
And they're really
beautiful. They look
as well.
really, really well made.
Yeah.
Those are cool. There are some line icons, and there's some UI kits that have icons in them too.
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah.
But that's nice. That's right, so much to learn. But so many like little shortcuts. This is totally helping us out a lot.
Sure, yeah.
That little icon jar, easy, drop it in. You have your social media links. Good to go. All right. This track comes from DJ Pac-Man.
Yeah.
His latest. Can you hear that sick beat? We're just nodding our head. We don't hear any of this music.
Yeah.
But we assume it's a sick beat from DJ Pac-Man. So do the kids say that these days still? Sick beat? I don't know. Lit. It's lit. Hey Pam. Yeah, I'm not allowed to say some words because this is it's too awkward.
Here you can see again, I think it's kind of nice to work with a grid. I think somebody was commenting on the YouTube channel that they were writing, oh, it's a really weird grid, but I'm definitely going to check it out. And I think, especially like keeping all these columns in mind, it just gives you like a lot of options to work with, right? Like if you're trying to figure out where do I place this, yeah, it's always good to just like, instead of just doing it randomly, to have it like aligned with all your columns on the grid here. It just takes so much decision making off your hands already, and if you're working with so many different elements, but they're all supposed to be on the same grid. Like this page is supposed to kind of be aligned to the grid the same way that this needs to be aligned with, and then sometimes it's subconsciously, you don't even notice, but when you're looking at more of the screens while you're designing, you kind of realize, oh, there's like this rhythm suddenly kind of being created. There's this consistency that every page kind of has and shares, and I think it's very easy then for the user to kind of navigate through the different pages, So anybody working with XD or Photoshop, I definitely would recommend using strong grid systems, playing around with grid systems, making up grid systems as you go along, and sometimes even you can use two or different ones in the same layout, just to make it even cooler or more unique. I think that's very interesting.
Yeah, I agree, and it looks good. Again, you're not guessing on where things go. It's just like you're just aligning things.
Exactly.
And I do like how I like how you're using a grid. I love the guides that pop up even as you're moving graphics around.
Yeah.
Because you have these, obviously vertical grid, but like horizontally, you can make sure those icons are lined up.
Definitely, right? Yeah. Even if you're looking at small things like this here, it always tells you exactly what the distance is between the different different objects. Right here, that's cool too. that works really well with XD. Here, this is my favorite kind
Would
of...
you call this a broken grid set?
Why a broken grid set?
Yeah, I don't know. That's what Chris is asking. Would you call that a broken grid set? I don't think so. It's not broken. You've kept it the same. You've been consistent the whole time.
Yeah, it's sometimes nice to break it. Like I'll show an example kind of now. I want this article. You know, I want people to, as you're scrolling down, the big title of the article kind of like moves over. You know, you have a sub headline, and it kind of goes into the actual article, and then I want to add a small image carousel, just so to have, you know, to have it kind of stay interesting. And this then, for instance, can be completely offset and maybe even, you know, move out of the screen in general.
Yeah. Is that like...
Let me keep going here for a second.
Oh yeah. Perfect. There we go. Well, thank you. Hey, Caitlin. Good to have you here. Hello to you as well. Welcome. Here with the one and only Marvin Schwaibold, coming in from Germany, gracing us with his presence for a couple days and into tomorrow, where he'll be hanging out with Talon. It should be at noon tomorrow, around that time. There's always that schedule tab. You can check that out, what's happening. But UX, UI, all this week. We're doing sort of web page layout design right now. And we'll do some fun animation. In a bit as well. And in about less than 45 minutes, we will review portfolios. So get those in as well. All right, Christian. Christian's back. Good to have you here. Welcome, everybody. All right. Let us know if you have any questions. One way to make something look elegant, paragraphs look elegant is double space, you know, the lines. Increase that leading. It just makes text look really elegant.
Yeah.
And even the thickness of that column, like it's not a general rule is like never even take your phone, never have text wider than say $1 bill is what they say.
Yeah.
You know, because you'll lose your place as you get to the end, and it just looks just not good.
Definitely, yeah.
And this thin column, I'm really into as well.
Yeah.
It makes it look even more elegant.
Has this editorial kind of like newspaper style to it, and I think a really good rule for the web, or in general for text when you're designing for the web, is the lines can't, you know, nobody wants to read from here all the way to the other side. You need to be able to.
Like,
yeah.
Where was I?
Exactly. You know.
How do I?
People lose track way faster that way.
Yeah. That looks good. What is that lorem ipsum?
Yeah.
Or is that just random? Okay.
Yeah, this is lorem ipsum.
Do you ever use any of those? You just use straight lorem ipsum? I know there's also like fun versions of it.
Really?
Oh yeah. Oh man, like hipster ipsum?
What?
Yeah, man.
Show it. I need to see. I need to see that.
Samuel L. Ipsum, like Samuel L. Jackson.
No.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Perfect. I've never even heard of that. Samuel L. Ipsum. We need to put that in here.
Yeah, there's all kinds. There's a bacon ipsum. Let me know if anybody knows of any other lorem ipsum alternatives. This is one, just show you really fast. Hipsum.co, so it's hipster ipsum. Generate 5 paragraphs. You can do hipster neat or with a shot of Latin in, and then you just like beer me. But let's just read this because it's hilarious to read. You know, tattooed, Stumptown, pitchfork. It's all these hipster words.
Nice,
I think it's hilarious. Subway tile, succulents, church key artisan. And if you want to take it to another level, I might show you something else. But right now there we go, perfect. Yeah.
15 paragraphs of this stuff. Nice.
I'll do you one better too here in a sec. Ooh, Star Wars ipsum. Lipsum, that's cool. Samuel L. Ipsum is not going to be family friendly. Okay, good thing we didn't go there. Bacon ipsum is probably okay. And who doesn't like bacon?
Bacon ipsum.
I will show you one more. I'm cooking other tips and tricks.
Perfect. Yeah, go for it. Definitely.
But I like just watching you design, by the way. Like what you're doing right now, lining that to the grid. You have another photo. Are those sliding?
Yeah, I think these should slide, you know.
Very cool.
I want to take this stuff away here, though.
So, I'm going to... What you can also do, just again, just another fun little hack. So if you are... I know people use Illustrator, like InDesign, these other tools. Typically, if you use the text tool, you're going to have, it's just going to give you generic ipsum, right? Lorem ipsum, which is fine. But what you can actually do is you can actually add a TXT file in the root of this applications folder, and that's what I've done. Instead of regular lorem ipsum, I have it basically replaced with hipster ipsum. So basically, hipster ipsum is baked into Illustrator right now. And just so you know, you just have to put a little TXT file at the root of this folder right here. And this is what. I encourage you to do that on somebody else's machine. Just put lorem ipsum in there in a placeholder text file, but then insert their name. Be like, "Hey, Larry." No. Wouldn't that freak you out?
That would
if
freak
you're kind of reading it and then you see your name.
Yeah, that would freak me out.
I would love that.
Oh man.
Then I have another placeholder text file that's just a bunch of encouraging phrases, because that's very much me. Hey man, your hair's looking really good today, you know?
Nice, yeah, that's a good, I like that one a lot. Yeah.
You know, like, you're looking younger, your teeth whiter than ever, you're just like, have
especially if you're trying to sell it to the client.
Right? Oh, Ryan Ford did do. Ryan, did you do that on somebody else's laptop? Because that would be awesome. Sneak in a little text file. Oh, yeah. Yeah, myself and Claude played a little table tennis last night. I'm realizing more. You play like ping pong at all? Not really.
Not really. I like pool.
Okay.
Yeah.
You could probably school me in pool then.
I really like playing pool. That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Nice.
Here's just another, cool element of this grid. I think, I kind of designed two columns here, this one and this one, and everything is aligned to these columns, right? Like there could be a cool quote here, but then you can break the grid again by saying like this, this element right here doesn't need to stay on the grid. We can completely offset it. And since it's the only thing being offset, instead of looking, kind of like out of place, it kind of gives the whole thing, it doesn't feel wrong at all. And that's what I kind of mean when you kind of break the grid a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
I think that can be really interesting.
And this is interesting because that space might vary, since you're talking about this is like sort of in a browser, we don't know the size of their browser. So it could have more or less space on either side, right?
Oh, yeah, sure. I mean, when you're thinking about how to, make this responsive, obviously some of these parts would kind of definitely fall away as well, Instead of having two columns, this would just probably be one large column, and this would all be stacked. But even that would kind of work really easy to just stack this above there,
It looks really good. I mean, this is like definitely like, it's like a magazine. It just looks so good. Like I just love this whole thought of having that out there.
Yeah, thank you.
Such a nice design element,
Yeah. And that's like really cool about XD. It's so easy and so fast. You can just like play around with this kind of stuff, make it way bigger. You know, we can figure out, okay, what if we don't want it like this? What if we'd rather have it, you know, what if we want to have a huge one here? What if we just want to use a stroke? See what that looks like. Maybe the opacity is not that big. We just kind of, you know, leave it here or something. And then you can just like make a bunch of artboards and kind of play around with it and choose kind of what you want. And I think that's like
I like your elegant. I like your little elegant one there. It looks really good.
Yeah, I think that's kind of nice as well.
But yeah, play around with it. See what works.
Yeah. I'm gonna add 2 more things, and then I think I'm done with this page.
Oh, greetings from Indonesia, from Bali. Oh, wow.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Very international everything here, right?
What time is it in Bali? Would love to know. Has to be like, I don't know, in the evening. You have about 30 minutes to get your portfolios in. We will select a couple and review those. Oh, Nazeen, hello from Malaysia. Loving the live shows. Watched one with Kirk Wallace. An illustrator, Kirk Wallace. Did we have him? We probably had. I wasn't here for that, but. Oh yeah. Was that pretty recent? Oh, okay. But that's really cool to hear, basically. It's nice that, again, even, you know, yesterday's session with you, like being able to see how you got to this point.
Yeah.
Because that video is actually available on YouTube. So check it out. Everything's archived.
That's what I like about being able to rewatch those videos as well. I kind of like doing that and just, you know, taking the time and seeing, okay, how do you come from this stage to this stage? What are you like little tips and tricks people use? It's really helpful, yeah.
It's almost 9 p.m. in
Bali.
Yeah, how many columns you have? You have 19?
Yeah.
19 columns.
I can put that on again here. 19 column. Gutter width 16 and column width 78. Yeah. Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
That's something good about XD that Photoshop doesn't do when you're working with grids. It always adjusts the margin to the size of your screen, like to the size of your artboard.
Oh yeah.
You know, that's something I like. In Photoshop, it's just like guidelines lines you can build, and you can build a grid with that as well. You can build a really cool grid, but you basically already have to know how long your artboard's going to be to have the grid line up perfectly with it.
Yeah, that's true. They're just like they are just like static, you know, grid layout lines.
Yeah.
Just, and you have to move each one like independently in Photoshop. So, but it does do it, which is nice. I don't know if people know about that as well. In Photoshop, view new guide layout. And that's what it looks like as you just type in some things. But here it is. So view new guide layout is what you select. And this will give you columns, spacing in between, as you can see. And this is this is going to be fixed. So as you make your canvas size larger, it's not going to adjust. But yeah, that's how you can do it in Photoshop. Add some grid lines. Shima's from Iran. Awesome. Very cool. You'd be happy to know that actually Melody is going to be up this afternoon. Melody Saburi, she's Persian. So come hang out with us. That's from 1 to 3 p.m. Pacific time. And yeah. Yeah, good illustrators. Justin Mizell's a great illustrator. We've had some amazing illustrators on. Super cool to see.
Add one more little element here.
I just love how you get those little the guides.
Definitely, yeah.
You know,
it's so easy to work with, right?
So nice.
Yeah.
And the snapping is just awesome.
Yeah.
Get the lines, kind of snaps into place. It's nice.
It really does make the job a lot easier.
I'm impressed with all the different the different line settings that we have now.
Yeah.
And like, you know, and I hope people are aware of that too. Actually, can you select a line real fast just so we can point that out?
Sure,
like,
yeah.
off to the side, just so people know like the spacing and all of that. If you wanted a dashed line or whatever,
yeah.
it's all right in there. The caps as well, if we wanted to round them.
Yeah.
Like all that stuff.
It's really helpful as well.
On the inside, the outside, or whatever.
This is new too, right? The dash.
Yeah, it's pretty new. Yeah.
Because I remember there was this one show with Michael, and what they did is they kind of cheated it, but it looked really cool as well. They kind of took they took a line and then they repeated the grid.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
That's kind of a nice way to.
Yeah, that's how we used to do. Is like do a repeat grid, take a circle and then a repeat grid, and there's your dash line.
Yeah.
Which is like, hey, totally works.
Definitely.
I like how underlines actually work too. Go ahead and let me get an interesting font. But here I am in XD real fast as you kind of do that. But so, you know, underlining, and this is kind of an extreme case, but basically if I want to underline this, I could add a line, but I love how if I add an underline, it doesn't cut through the G or even the F in this case.
Yeah.
You know, so it always kind of stays exactly where we need it to. And that's like not easy to do. It actually took the team a while to implement underline because they kind of wanted to do it right.
Yeah.
And I appreciate they spent time to do it right.
Spending time to make it look, you know, to fix those little things, right? Those little details. I think that's really important.
That would just bother you otherwise.
Yeah.
Although I think with I would love to have a text property that allows me to. I want like almost like a highlight effect.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I want to be able to put a black box behind some text and not have to draw a box.
Definitely,
and I wish that was like, you know, there's
that would have been cool. That would be cool, yeah.
You know, and I don't know.
I have another question. Do you it's you know just working with like glyphs, you know, when you have your font family and you have like a bunch of glyphs inside it, that's something in Photoshop that works really well. Like that's, for instance,
Agreed.
I'm using, for instance, just to show people, like in my style guide, right? This is Aproku, the font, really beautiful font I'm using, and for the arrows, I'm not using like my icon jar grid or anything. I'm using the glyphs from the Aproku font. So this is actually from the font itself.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that kind of like, you know what I mean? Talking about consistency, it works really well when you have a nice font family like Aproku and it has a really nice set of glyphs as well. It has maybe circles or little elements or arrows pointing in each direction that you can work with.
So did you have to get that? Did you like do it in Photoshop and copy and paste it into?
Yeah,
Okay.
I kind of.
So kind of what XD could use is a glyphs panel or something like that, right?
Yeah, these are the arrows. I created these in Photoshop and then exported them.
Okay.
But you can go, if you go into your glyphs here, glyphs, yeah, it'll open up, yeah. And now you can see, if you scroll down a little bit through this, depending obviously on which font you have.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you have Aproku or anything on here. Mason new. Mason. Some fonts anyway, they have it. They have.
Yeah, I have some. I have icon fonts. Like we did make. There's an Adobe Live font that has all these various.
Oh,
characters.
nice. Yeah.
But like, you can have multicolor fonts and things like that. But yeah, I see what you're saying right in here.
Yeah.
I'll
Even
do
just the plus here is kind of cool. The little plus. It's like it doesn't need to. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, right down there.
Yeah. And it's just part of that font family, And if you're gonna work maybe with just one or two font families in general on your web page or on your design, it's nice to work with glyphs. This arrow looks nothing like I would get from Iconjar. You can see the difference, yeah. This is my apaku.
This is harder to make than you think. Like that arrow, you think I would just draw an arrow? No. It's actually much harder than you.
That's why I appreciate
it. Perfect point.
That's why I appreciate it when font families have that.
Yeah, it's yeah.
I can.
And really, there needs to be a way to select alternate glyphs.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
The alternate for this is just. Again, maybe this is sort of next step. We'll have to check to see where this is at, in development. But like for this G to have this alternate that I can select in Photoshop, I can do this in Illustrator. But that usually is what happens. Like it'll appear in Photoshop or Illustrator. Other people see it, get used to it, and they're like, I want this in XD.
Sure. Yeah.
So that might be. I would like to check to kind of see how that is going.
Here you can just see the difference between the apaku arrow and the one I'd have in Iconjar. Just a whole, it's a very different style. It's a different stroke, different strength.
It's rounded.
It's rounded as well. I like this kind of like
that goes
chunky
more.
one more. Yeah,
I agree.
Those are like little tricks I like to use.
And I think when it comes to, since that's a button, not only do you have to like make the icon, but also give it, maybe you have a larger hit area.
Sure.
For your prototype at least. So make a semi-transparent black box.
Yeah. So this is what this looks like now. Kind of like your title, introduction, who wrote the article, social media icons here. Kind of goes from here over.
I love how you didn't use any color there. They're all black and white.
Exactly. Yeah. This is just in this case. I really
color would not be good.
No. What could be interesting to see how it looks inverted, black background and white text. Really, really quick and easy to do in XD. You have a nice quote here, and then at the end of your article, you could share it again on social, or just have similar articles that kind of. You don't have to go back to your blog page to pick something else. They just get pasted into here.
And you could, even as you're designing, you can take. I was thinking about how could you invert this easily. It's almost like you could actually select a whole page and add all those colors, boom, and add all those character styles, boom. So just like add everything quickly, and then I would select the white and then change it to black.
Definitely.
And select the black, change it to white. It is nice actually if you select whether it's text, a shape, or whatever, you'll change the color of it.
How do you mean?
Like whether it's text or shapes.
Yeah.
If you select all of it, when you change the fill, it'll change the fill of the shapes and the color of the text.
Yeah. Okay.
It's nice that it just
does that automatically.
Smart enough to do that.
Yeah, that's cool. That's definitely cool.
Yeah, Natalia, that's a good point. It's like, she likes the advantage of XD. An advantage of it is that it's simple. So too many features could it kill an app? Could it, big barrier to entry. If it's, it's like learning Photoshop today.
Yeah.
Probably pretty tough.
Probably pretty tough.
Illustrator, super feature rich.
Yeah.
And I think it could be feature rich but smart, and that's what I think XD does, because it looks simple. Like, again, I always point out to the pen tool. If I want to add or remove points, I just select a point and delete.
Yeah.
I don't need a remove point tool to do that.
Exactly.
I select it and I delete it. It's done.
But I do think
here
in general,
you go. You got it. That's fast.
This went really, really quickly, actually.
I like how you're just looking. It looks like you're a floating head on the.
Where?
You're just like a floating head. Man, the keying here is amazing. So sharp.
And then we can decide which one we like more. I kind of prefer this one, the white one, but
I do too.
I'll leave it up to the people in the chat to decide. I don't mind.
Yeah, let us know what you like. Do you like the white version or the black version? It's nice seeing them side by side here.
Definitely, yeah.
Let us know. I think chat's moving a little slow. Wait, did you just... Okay, these are the different... Did you just change all these screens to...
No. These are just...
Different ones. Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah. This is one that we were working on yesterday.
I was just... It works well, actually. The black one works well with all the other pages, and so does the white version.
Yeah. I don't also want all of it to be on black.
Mm-hmm.
And even like with the, with the introduction page here, or the intro page, some parts are on black, and then we kind of switch again, and then we switch back, and I think if everything is too dark, it can look...
So Rasim, let's say Eric says white, Marcos white, Alexander says black. So more whites in there so far.
Yeah.
Saber
White,
says
I think
white works
white.
best.
Brian Ford says white, yeah. We'll go with the white one.
Yeah, that's a good call. I agree. People definitely have more of an opinion when you put something on a black background.
Yeah.
You know. So, Devin, to answer your question, do we see XD becoming as complicated as, say, Illustrator and Photoshop are now? But I want to see it grow, certainly.
Definitely,
yeah. Make it happen. But I think as it grows, I think it could still be really complex, but still like maintain its simplicity.
Yeah.
Because it only serves up what you need when you need it, right? So when you select a line, that's when you get the properties for it, right?
Exactly.
You don't need a stroke panel to do that. That's up all the time, like you have in Illustrator.
Or you have in Photoshop. Your toolkit, your toolbox is so big. There's a million different elements in there. And I mean, also XD, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's built for building apps and websites and prototyping. That's what it's there for. You don't, in general, it'll never have as many options as Photoshop will do, because there's so much you can do in Photoshop that you don't even need to even think about in XD. I mean, I would never add like an, image treatment feature in XD. You can work in Photoshop and do it there, and then import images.
You're exactly right, because it's not meant to replace Photoshop or Illustrator.
Yeah.
It's always going to do its thing. But I think even Illustrator is trying to be like more simple as well. Like, again, just kind of switching over. The essentials for Illustrator, what does it give you? It just gives you the properties panel.
Yeah.
This is it's just kind of like XD. Like, just serve up what I need at when I need it. So if I have these, here's a shape, here's another shape, I get the properties for it over here.
Yeah.
And then even if I select both of them, I get additional properties. So like, hey, I noticed you have two are selected.
Yeah.
Maybe you want to align them or do a Pathfinder operation.
And that's a cool way of doing it, right? You can hide some of these properties or tool, and only have them visible once you're kind of like in a certain area already, right?
Yeah. So that's kind of what the properties panel is meant to do, is just serve up the stuff when you need it.
Yeah.
Which makes it very much. But you could always jump out directly too. Oh, guess what? Here's the stroke panel.
Yeah.
So anyways, I think it's a good time to get in Illustrator. And what did Illustrator have to do? Also this, like, there's now a customizable toolbar in Illustrator, so I can actually add or remove things from the toolbar, sort of, things that I don't use.
Yeah.
Like some of this 3D stuff I'd probably move off. But anyway.
Right. So I think something we're already playing with and auto animate is kind of like, jumping from this kind of screen and choosing one of the subscription
We should
packages.
get on that. We have like 15 minutes.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Let's do some transitions, some prototyping, which is really where I think there's like a lot of, it's like pretty darn mature what's been happening in the sort of the prototype tab in XD.
Yeah, I kind of resized this screen here to just have this part here, and then
nice.
And then I guess it's really from here it's just really easy because my icons and everything inside here are all just duplicated, and then the names are all the same, and basically I would go from here to this screen.
Ooh, I like this. This is gonna be fun.
Oh,
is that already set up? Can you show it? It looks like there's something wired up, but
yeah, I can. Let me just quickly duplicate this and get rid of these. We can do it again. So basically, these are my two screens. I go into prototype. I want to be able to go from here to this screen, and I want to be able to tap, auto animate, and I guess I'll go with an ease in. I think 0.4 seconds is cool, right?
yeah.
But I also like the fact that you can go back, and I want to use my X here to be able to kind of go back to the screen. In case you don't want to,
Sweet.
in case you don't want to choose this one.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Let's see.
You kind of play with this. Wait. So from here, you already see this, This is really nice. It kind of already has feedback. It shows you this area is, doable.
It's hot. Boop.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Zip. Go back.
Boop. So everything's that is named the same. So to create that second page, like, did you just duplicate the first one? Because that's typically what you do, is like duplicating this page, getting rid of the stuff that you don't need, keeping that box in the center that you do need.
Exactly.
Everything else kind of fades in.
Yeah.
If it didn't exist on the previous screen, it'll just fade in.
Sure. Like, for instance, in this case, you look at this, you go, okay, theoretically I'm clicking on the, $85 subscription, so all of this kind of stuff can go away, right? We can get rid of this, then I can move this over, make this box bigger because I want it to be like this,
Ooh, here's a good, can I show you something?
Sure, yeah.
I was going to show you the scaling when you have multiple items selected. Let's just like, can you do a couple undos so it's a little smaller before you do the resizing. Like that.
Yeah.
And then I think we might need to either select or group, but over here we want a responsive resize is set to auto. When I grab it, look, this is what happens. Isn't this nice?
That's really cool.
It's like, hey,
I didn't even know that. Yeah.
Right? Isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
So you can kind of get it into somewhat of a, closer to where you want it to be, and maybe you don't want the button that big.
No, sure, but yeah.
Notice you could always turn that off as well.
Yeah.
But this will get you like, maybe 80% there. Yes, I love it. Devin says animating the X to jump back to the original page. Did you do the X when you close? Does it modify into something else?
I tried it earlier.
We should take a look at it. We could do it.
Yeah.
Do they have I would check the names.
I think it works as long as I don't change the background colors, right?
You would just have to make sure these are known as line 181 and 182, and they're in group 2.
Yeah. I'm sure they are. If I look at this one here again. Group 2.
Oh, good.
Right?
And does it work? Oh, it's so hard to tell.
Yeah. I don't want it to work with this anymore. I want these two to go together.
Yeah, I agree, and Ron, just the contextual interfaces of XD and Adobe Dimension.
There we go. Let's quickly change these ones back to what we had them earlier.
Yeah, I like it, Ryan. Good ideas. I like the plus turning into an X. You know, this hamburger turning into an X, just cool.
And we'll go from here to this screen, right? Auto animate, ease in for a second, tap, and then from here, or just in general from here, we want to be able to go back, right?
Yeah, good.
I think this should work now. Ah, no, I still linked it to the wrong one. Let me get rid of these ones here.
Yeah, I don't. There we go.
You see it?
What?
It's perfect.
Oh yeah. See, look in the upper left.
Upper left corner. Can I zoom into this part right there?
We'd have to modify your system preferences.
Okay, wait.
But we could do it.
Nah, it doesn't work. Yeah, no, it's fine, but now it works. Yeah, I was trying this earlier and I had some trouble with it. But this is really beautiful. Yeah.
See the little X turning into the two bars?
Yeah. It's a really nice, subtle kind of like movement as well.
Mm-hmm. It's the little things, especially for this design. It's so elegant.
Yeah.
That these subtle touches is really what, makes it awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I really, really like that. And now, theoretically, anything else we change, we can just get rid of all of this. Get rid of this. My only question now is if I have a color behind it, does it still work the same way? As long as I don't change the color, I think. Yeah, it still works.
Sweet.
What happens if I change
the color? Color can't change. Sorry.
Color can't change.
No.
Can't change, right? Yeah, that
Not
was
right
my
now.
problem earlier. Yeah.
That would be nice. You can adjust transparency and stuff, but
Yeah.
not color. Currently.
Do you want to show what we were trying to do with the scroll?
Oh yeah.
I think that was kind of cool as well.
Let's do it. But since we're getting into, transitions and animation, because you had on your first screen, this is what brought this up, right?
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah.
like
it was. Where do we have
your
it?
loading screen.
There we go. I was trying to kind of build like this preloader in some form that kind of starts on 000, and as kind of like the website would load, it kind of like counts up, until it kind of reaches 100. And this is how I would design it for just like static for a motion designer or a front-end developer. If I'm trying to pitch him my idea or ask him if he understands what I'm trying to get at, I would kind of build 2 or 3 of these screens and explain to them what I want. And this is kind of like masked, so beneath here there are more numbers.
Mm-hmm.
And then you came up with a pretty cool way to kind of like animate that, right?
Yeah, I mean, I came up with a way that works. So yeah, it's pretty straightforward. So, and I think this is basically what you wanted. You wanted this to, and we saw this in the design that won yesterday. Basically, with the design we showed today.
Yeah, where you chose the seat, it dragged, and it kind of like could choose 1, 2, 3, or 4 seats.
Yeah. So what you have is these. I made a super basically 0 to 9 10 times, so you could see how long this is.
Yeah.
And all I did is move it. This one's basically 100. 10 times goes 100. This goes from 1 to 0, but and then so basically here it is in the first screen, and the second screen it's down here.
Yeah.
Right. It's that simple. And then we just did auto animate, and
yeah, look at that. That's beautiful.
And that I could probably tweak it some more, but that's not even lining up.
Is there an opacity or something here as well?
Yeah, so I just did gradient.
Yeah. Oh yeah, gradient, exactly.
Yeah, just like that. I kind of wanted it to kind of fade in.
Mm-hmm.
But the cool thing is that like as long as these names are the same, I can move them around all day long. But those are all the elements. The names stay the same from screen to screen. And since I did notice that it is kind of wonky, I probably need to, just adjust it or whatever. But
yeah.
You get the idea.
Play one more time. It looks super nice. Yeah. It could like fade out and the website could kind of launch.
And this does, one thing I actually learned today also is like the, for auto animate, the longest duration is actually 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to do like 20.
Doesn't work.
Didn't quite do it. And this does ease out. Let's do,
Did you try ease in out? Is that the one we had right now?
it just eases out, which is cool because it slows down as it reaches the second point.
Yeah.
Ease in and out means it'll start slow. So yeah, let's try that out.
Yeah. What about if we snap it?
I know. Snap. Sorry, that's probably behind my head. Snap. So that's going to, I guess we're going to see what that looks like.
Boom. It's also nice,
so
right?
you like overshoot it and then it comes back.
And then
That's
it comes
fun.
back in, yeah.
Yeah, good times. Good times with Auto Animate. Less than 2 minutes before
Portfolio reviews?
Yeah, portfolio reviews.
I'm excited. Can't wait.
Dude, I'm gonna get I can't believe it, man. This is looking so good. You promised to I don't know. I want to see the final version whenever you get that published out. I don't know, maybe just follow you on social media or whatever.
Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna do like a huge Behance case for this project as well, and have some auto animation in there and some videos from the show, so people can definitely get a better look at the whole screen design there. And then, like I said, since it's actually a cool real project, the client is gonna, this is gonna get developed as well, so it'll actually be live. Yeah, but updates will be on Behance,
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Gonna tweak some more little things here and go for this. Open up the file page here.
Yes.
This is also a really easy page. I can quickly build. It's the about page. Very straightforward. Using kind of like the same font sizing here again. I like the idea of cutting fonts off.
Yeah, I do too.
You can still read it. You can still read it, but theoretically it leaves imagination for motion. You can think about it. Oh, if I scroll down, will this move in or out? Something, or will it get a little bit smaller? As I'm kind of not really a parallax, but you could think about it as you scroll. It kind of like zooms in so that you can see all of it.
Yeah.
I'm going to use the same kind of.
And I do like how you're varying this, so that this design is pretty, it's not over designed.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of crazy stuff going on, but you vary it using. I like how you're using black, like a black background and a white background.
Yeah.
And you know when to kind of go from one to the other.
Yeah, yeah.
Because otherwise, it might be too boring if it's all on white.
Definitely, yeah, definitely. And that's also just like a lot of like just tweaking in it, and it's just an iterative process until you kind of figure out what makes more sense. And like we tested earlier with the with the article page, it's so easy to kind of like switch from white to black.
Mm-hmm.
You can build the about page in white, you can build it in black, and you can theoretically have every artboard doubled, and then you can kind of like match them together and see, we can have the blog article in white because the about page will be black, and when somebody swaps or clicks on this, and then we can kind of go from there and see how many different pages we actually want in which color.
Looking really slick. I saw a question earlier talking about like sort of having XD generate code, which always seems like a good idea, but I think anytime when there's machine generated code, that's when we like usually tick off a lot of developers.
Yeah.
So like machine generated code, I feel like we can never win. But that's also a good question to ask Talon tomorrow. Designers want machine generated code, but that's also how we have developers hate us.
Definitely, yeah. And I'm not sure about that in general. I mean, every time you have the opportunity, like in my career, I've always had the opportunity to work with really talented developers, and they bring so much more to the whole design, Basically, it's static.
Really? Okay. That's
you build something static and you give it to the developer, and they kind of, if they're creative, they'll just have their own opinion to everything, and they'll start tweaking it from their perspective. And I think that's something I love about interactive design in general, just like the collaboration between the developers, a front end and a back end developer, a screen designer, a UX designer, and motion designers, and the more people you put in there that know what they're doing, the better the product will get.
Yeah.
And the more interesting it will get as well.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, hey, they're the professionals in that area, so that's
exactly.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I wouldn't.
Yes, Muse would. You were literally sort of. Adobe Muse would actually create websites, and you never saw the code. But try giving a Muse website to a developer, and that's like tough to do. Cool. All right. Well, wow. Kind of getting down to it. Little clock underneath us right here says 00 on that screen.
Ah, okay.
That's the deadline for the portfolio submissions for this, at least this segment. So,
should we jump into that in a minute?
I say we jump into it, but then I also want to kind of jump back to yours and just give it like just admire your work too as well.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, but
we can do that.
I say
first,
we do
though,
this.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. Let's dive into these portfolios, check them out, and then jump back to yours and.
Definitely, yeah.
And check yours out. And I say we do it. So let's get ready. Shall we we'll blast off into portfolio land.
Yeah.
Right now.
Nice.
Whoa, we're back. These portfolios are so amazing. We have to view them from space. I can't drink my coffee. What is happening here? Welcome everybody. We're here in the portfolio spaceship. I'm going to take this off.
Me too.
The air is breathable because we're still in a spaceship. Oh, look at this. Right behind us, we have a portfolio we're going to review. Let's check it out. Boop, 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 boop.
Let's dive into this.
And let's dive in. Congratulations to Saber Nimi, graphic motion UI designer, Harsnet. Oh, Tehran. Nice. Oh, this is awesome. And I'm following you, Saber. Scrolling down, focus UI UX. That's good. Links, tools, little stars into it. And let's check it out right here. Yeah. I like it. Nice layout.
Nice. Just first off, it's always good to choose your thumbnails right? That's something I already see when I'm looking at this. Like, these two are really beautiful cool. As well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They do. Yeah.
Oh, I love this. He's participated in the daily challenges from 1 to 8. This is so nice. I'm so glad. This is why I'm glad we have these challenges. Because who knows where this person's portfolio would be at. But let's go. We could start like day 1 and then jump to like maybe day 8 or something.
Sure. Also, probably it's nice to see the progress. If you're
yeah. Let's check it out. It's a little video. Sorry, I didn't even read what the subject matter was. I'm just jumping in. But basically a conference, scrolling down, seeing who's speaking.
Buy tickets.
Overlay. Yeah. This is an overlay, which is nice. And very cool. I want in. So those 2 buttons actually link to that same overlay screen, which is really nice. Yeah, very cool. And again, that was the day 1 XD Daily Creative Challenge. Pretty straightforward. And then we have the actual
screen design here.
Yeah, the two artboards.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm into it. Any thoughts? What do you think?
I think it looks good. I think in general for the call to action, the I want in button, I would have made the font a little smaller in these ones here, right?
Okay.
Just in general, and I maybe would have matched it to one of these fonts here, or I think even the font size he's using in the menu up here would have been perfect.
Okay.
Because the color green is already so bright here. It's already, the user will already see it.
Yeah.
And then it'll just look more elegant and more subtle if the font size will be smaller inside that.
Good.
I kind of like this layout here. It's kind of getting it to the point. Really, it's very organized. Nice use of grid. Same thing again here, maybe with the call to action. This is a super interesting layout with these lines and all that stuff. Exactly.
It totally works. But I do agree with you. Definitely, even on the button, I'm kind of torn on the green. But I think definitely to your point, make that font size, make it smaller, space it out. The spacing of the letters.
Yeah.
Will just add a level of elegance to it.
I think the footer here as well I would have made it. Either I would replicate, I would add stuff from the page and put it into the footer again, just to have, somebody who can scroll to the bottom, see like maybe buy tickets again, contact about kind of this stuff, or I would have, that way I would have made it kind of bigger. I think that can look nice.
And some of these might be cases where this could have been like a template that we gave them on day 1 or something like that. I don't know the backstory, but if there is a backstory, put that in text here.
Yeah.
Saying this is, obviously they probably did not take, the photos, but yeah. I like it. And overall, I think that's a good font, by the way.
Yeah, the font's interesting, definitely.
I like it larger and thin right there.
Yeah.
Cool.
Let's look at day 8, right?
Let's do it. Adobe XD Daily Creative Challenge, day 8. User onboarding experience. All right. I like that. Ooh, I like those transitions.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Very smooth. The easing right in here is totally working. Yeah, very perfect. That's a decent amount of animation going on.
Yeah,
huh?
for sure.
Yeah, I'm into it. That auto animate just rocks. I think you'd say the same thing here, with this font, right?
The continue button could be the font could be smaller. Could be
Here
the same size. It looks way better on these ones.
Yeah.
I would have just used the same. I would have just used those as buttons there. It brings just more consistency into it.
I like how the text is gray.
Yeah.
It's that nice gray on white. And it's not, they didn't make the bubble transparent as well, which was a good call.
Definitely.
Clean, flat.
With
Awesome.
the, you know, just staying on this page right here, the icons here, what I would have definitely tried to do just as a, you know, to change things up, have the circles completely black and the icons in white, just to see what that looks like, especially in comparison to the nice blue feathers of the parrot. Could be a like really cool contrast, you know?
Yeah, good point, because honestly, if this is a white photo that they're manipulating, I would lose these.
Exactly. You'd have to, these would have to either be, you know, inverted, and I don't know, that way.
Yeah, or even background blur might look
Sure, yeah.
cool.
Well, this one
Good stuff. Well, let's dive into day 6. Review experience for product page, adding ratings and reviews on a product page. Okay, so.
Ooh, nice.
Some of these might have been like templates that they were given, so maybe what he did was the animation part of this. Yeah,
I like that.
that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
That's a lot happening, because these are daily challenges.
Yeah.
I'm not saying this was done in a day, but possibly yes, done in a day. Want to share your story? Sure. Yeah. I'm not crazy about that dropping down. I'd rather I'd rather have them almost like fill. Boop, boop, boop.
Definitely, yeah. Yeah, same goes for me.
I love this.
Yeah.
We'll check animation. Boop.
Yeah.
Great job.
Vibrant colors.
And
Still,
yes, those are great headphones.
If you play it one more time. Can you pause it here?
Yeah.
I'd always make sure to, when I'm drawing these boxes, you know, these ones, you know, these have sharp edges. These are kind of like rounded, and it's all fine. But I'd make sure that I'd stay consistent. You know.
Yeah.
I'd stay consistent when I'm designing this kind of stuff. Either I'd have all of them rounded or none of them, but I wouldn't try to like.
Don't mix both.
Don't mix it up too much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Same goes for the font in here. You know, these buttons could be the exact same size. You know, or this maybe doesn't even need to be a button. It could be lower, and it could just say maybe later, because that's we don't want the user. You know what I mean? We don't want the user to click on that, and so they just see the sure button. Have the font a little bit smaller in here, but otherwise it's very nice. Yeah, definitely.
Shoot. Yeah.
You know, yeah.
Same thing I feel about like, you know, this border.
The border and the whole submit review button. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, since none of the buttons have, you know, that kind of stick to one edge here, then you know,
it's just a little too disjointed.
Yeah. So I think an overall note on all of these designs are, I think, really working on the style guide before jumping into the real design. You know, like, or as you're designing and you kind of realize, oh, I kind of like my add to cart button. You're the designer of your project, right? So you can then just go and say, hey, I'm gonna actually take this add to cart button, I'm gonna add it to my style guide, and this is my call to action for all further parts of my project, no matter what it is. And that way it's kind of consistent, and people, you know, the user will learn, this button does this button does this, and it won't vary in size. And it's easier then for you to, for the design process, once you're making more screens, you can just drag and drop them or copy paste them from your style guide. Definitely.
Yeah, that is good. And Saber's actually here in chat as well.
Yeah.
Good. Everything's like looking great. Everybody's like really impressed with all your animation work. I think in some of these cases we might have given them a template.
Sure.
So I don't know if he designed like say these buttons or whatever, but this is like outstanding feedback.
Yeah.
Like, and on that note, like just write in, hey, you know what? I did the animation for this.
Exactly. Definitely.
You know?
Yeah.
But I think everything you said, and you do such a good job of such good, clean design that you're not overworking anything, and everything just like looks awesome. We need to move on to the next one though.
Yeah.
All of these, great job, man. Saber, you are awesome. You are the man. I appreciate your hard work and all this animation that you've been doing. That was fun. I love this abstract, like road that's happening here. So. Great job.
The logo also has the road inside it in the eye.
See, so cool. But I want to kind of move on because we need to save time for Milana. Congratulations, Milana Abador. You are our second portfolio we're reviewing. Just so you know what's happening here, Saber has his Behance webpage, and you can take your Behance webpage and your projects and roll them into a portfolio, which is also provided. So this is a Behance portfolio that we're going to review. So let's check out this homepage redesign. And yeah, I guess if I click on it, I think it's going to, actually that's not bad. I want to view this larger. I think this is probably just best. About look and feel.
I like this here, the fonts are, it's the style guide basically right there. It's kind of nice, the primary colors. I think in general I'd be careful if you go up a little bit with the opacity here,
Oh, okay.
That's something where I would say,
yeah.
The image in general has an opacity. You have layers of color on top of the image with those circles, and then you have
multiple gradients is what it feels like.
Yeah, multiple gradients as well, and then on top of that you have your fonts, which then again have these rectangles here that have opacity again. I would in that case I would try to stick to one style I'm using. I'd rather have the image and maybe
like less is more.
Less is definitely more in those kind of cases.
Yeah, I agree.
But overall,
it looks good. I love the color scheme. It feels nice and friendly.
Yeah.
And I would almost say, even concerning the colors, by the way, it looks actually like you have this orange that's not represented over here.
Yeah.
And I feel like these blues are so similar.
Yeah.
Why not just have one? Is it just me?
They're exactly the same, actually.
Oh, thank you. Why are they there twice then?
Yeah. Shouldn't be. Yeah, exactly.
I was like, these two look exactly.
These two look very similar, actually. By the way, yeah, you could throw one of those out and add the orange as then you could also choose because
you want that when it comes to your colors.
Exactly.
Like you need that complementary, and typically it is your call to action color. Your
call to action color is one of your primary colors. In general, so that definitely needs to go into your style kit, into your style.
But good call.
Yeah.
Good fonts. Good work. I love even this this portfolio that you have laid out. Some of these are.
Look at this one here.
Car payment. Oh, sorry. Let me close that, and I will just zoom in.
This one looks very cleaned up.
Yeah. Oh, I love how this is like a light, super light gray.
Yeah.
And there's like a thin border or a drop shadow. I like the subtleties here are nice.
Definitely, yeah. You're not playing with too many font styles. Font sizing as well, that's important.
Yeah.
Compared to the other portfolio we were looking at, I also kind of like, this is, I think, a nice example of a font size, when you're looking at the call to action. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I almost want these colors, if colors are close to the same but not the same, you want them to be the same. Like
Definitely.
These blues, I'm like, I don't know if it's the compression of the JPEG, but I want them to be the same color.
Definitely, yeah.
So
yeah, that's something.
And if they're not, just have a reason for them not being that. But this is overall, nice. And we don't know what she did or didn't do, and here's let's play this animation. Because we might have given them this template, so we could be. Yeah, little pop-up.
Oh.
Keep it simple. Good stuff. Rolling that into your portfolio. These are all the projects. Let's go back. We have about 8 minutes left, just FYI.
Web design agency.
I really love these colors.
Yeah.
These electric colors are hot. I love it. That black,
especially in comparison to the black, yeah.
That's gorgeous. I'm into it.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. It's like electric and exciting. And good use. I think they used white where they needed to and black where they needed to. This is like stealing pages out of your book.
Yeah.
I don't know about the shadow. Does that shadow add anything?
No.
Yeah.
Especially because the shadow here, it's not on the. It doesn't make any sense there. Maybe I wouldn't have.
And even just thinking about your comments earlier, like concerning like rounding corners. Here it's like very subtle. Here it's more extreme.
Exactly.
But it's not.
It's not the same, right? Then I would just stick to one. You know, choose one that you like, add it to your style guide, and I understand it. It's hard. It's hard to just then stick to the rules that you've basically made for yourself, you know? But that's what kind of...
Well, yeah, I mean, it could be... I think you're making it harder than it needs to be, because you don't need to make this new decision on rounding this.
Yeah.
You just take from the guide, boom, there it is.
Exactly.
So, but well played, man. I can't get over these colors.
Yeah.
Overall layout, fantastic job. This is one of the stronger, I feel, out of the ones that we've reviewed. Yeah. But Milana did a great job. Milana, if you're with us, let us know. There you are. Web designer, business-minded. Yeah, cool. Wow, she's been all over. I'm just kind of trying to see where she's from and all that. But yeah, Milana, great job. Great portfolio. Good layouts. Any thoughts on like the thumbnails being used here?
I think in general, when you're creating the thumbnails, it's also just good to work with photography sometimes. That's what I do on my Behance, you know. You don't need the thumbnail to already show you a lot of the like tiny little interactive parts or tiny little interface design elements. You know, you can just have your thumbnail be a cool picture that represents what the whole product is about. So for instance, scroll down on this one here, it could have just been the car, you know?
Yeah.
And you can create your thumbnails for your portfolio to, again, bring more consistency to it, right? So, because when you're just talking about font sizing, you know, these are different font sizing than this one. Obviously, this is different than this, you know, and it's just a lot of jumping around of styles and fonts here that you can kind of like, you know, you can do this beforehand. You know, you can make all your thumbnails look kind of similar.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like,
I think that's
literally,
really important.
Here's your thumbnail template that you apply to all your projects, which is good.
Yeah.
I think Saber did a good job. Like over here, like this. Some of these are gorgeous.
Yeah,
like
and
this
they're all
they're
very similar to each other. Kind of.
Yeah.
That's something I like as well. You know. And you can see that this is created. These thumbnails are created for Behance. I don't think there's an image in his daily creative challenge that looks exactly like that. Oh no, there isn't.
But yeah, you're right. Like
you know what I mean? That yeah.
By the way, that's might be an extension or a plugin for XD that will put your design on a flat like phone.
Oh, okay.
So, anyways,
Nice.
but yeah, I agree. Like this is super slick and it works well there. Whether it's a template or whatever, maybe it's a little bit different if it's a web page design. Does it look like that?
Sure. But even there, they look kind of similar as well.
Yeah.
And you can always just get inspired on the discovery page of Behance has so many beautiful projects that get featured by you guys all day.
Yeah.
And just looking at those, they're very pretty, you know. There's always like a lot of.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, scroll down a little bit. Yeah, see all of this
some
stuff
of these.
here. Yeah. Even like this one here is really nice.
Yeah. It's cool seeing like which ones like kind of jump, which ones grab your eye. You know?
Exactly. Yeah.
Oftentimes it won't be any one answer. It's the different one. Like if all of these were color and there's one that's black and white, the black and white is going to stick out.
Exactly. Yeah. So sometimes it's not even you. It's not even up to you, right?
Not even up to you. But like still like gorgeous work. Again, lack of text on the images is kind of where we're at. Right?
This one here, right? It's so nice. It's kind of what is it about? Maybe you want to create your thumbnail so people want to click on it, you know, and because they want to be
build some intrigue. Like, what is that?
Exactly.
And maybe you have back to this one, we have the car, but maybe it's just part of maybe it's a vehicle. It's like that tight crop.
Yeah, for sure, definitely.
Yeah. Oh, shoot, we're running low on time. Can we switch back to yours? Because I just think you're amazing. And I think, the past two, like, live streams today and yesterday, like, definitely worth a rewatch just to see you create all this and have it kind of come together. Yeah. It's just beautiful. You know?
Yeah. Even if you're looking at stuff like this, any call to action I always do in this website, it's always the same one. It can change from black to white, but if it's an explorer or it's a buy or it's whatever it is, they're always the same. Especially when you're looking at animation, because here the outline will look like this, right? It's the buy. call to action. But once you click on it and it gets you to this screen here, I change the stroke, but everything else stays exactly the same. You know, that's something like
knowing when to be consistent and when to vary it.
Yeah.
Just like you did with the background color. Like sometimes it's black, sometimes it's white. It always just feels consistent, but you're changing it up just like it's really one or the other. You're not. You didn't round any of these corners, and if you did, you were consistent with the rounding across the board.
Yeah.
It would just look weird if it's rounded.
Yeah. If this one is, if this one is rounded. And this one here, the font size would be different.
I would ask myself, why is this one rounded? This button must do something different.
Exactly, yeah.
And
even just looking at this, look here, this is that kind of...
We'll talk your ear off all day long, but we got to wrap it up, buddy.
Yeah, let's do
it. Marvin, you've been a true pleasure to hang out with.
Thank you so much.
Heck of a designer, heck of a nice guy. Thank you so much, Adobe Live, for posting your links. So stalk him on social media, hit him up. A great guy, really talented. Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Thank you so much. I had a lot of fun. Yeah, it was very
I'm
cool.
glad we get to spend time with you tomorrow. Talent does.
I'm looking forward to that as well.
That's the plan.
Definitely, yeah.
Olga's up next with Gus, and just hang out with us all day. We'd appreciate it. Thanks, everybody.